understand? And that's why I say, like, nigga, I went from crying for help to trying myself. Like, everybody that's like on my line now and everybody want to, like, I don't like you. Like, my stomach was growling and tomorrow came. I was hungry by myself and tomorrow came.
Man, hopefully the lighting is good, the positioning is good. Changing locations up a little bit. I'm in the kitchen, but yeah, hopefully everything's situated. How'd I go from making over $100,000 to chasing my dreams? And I think I just get straight to it, like coming from where I come from, not really having that silver spoon, you dig? Not really having a lot. My parents couldn't really afford the best of sneakers, the best of clothes. You know, we shopped Foreman Mills year round. You dig what I'm saying? We, growing up, school, we had one pair of sneakers that last you through the school year. You dig? So making a lot of money is always on your mind. Getting out of survival mode is always on your mind. To get the things that you never had is always on your mind. So when I start touching that money, of course, my lessons in the past have taught me not to splurge my money, save my money, learn to invest my money, and create that generational wealth, and just wealth for myself right now, and the generational wealth comes later. But you can only imagine the thoughts that's going through my head to sit back and say, dang, like, you made 6 figures. You were a 6-figure ninja. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that's going through my head. And I'm trying to tell you, thousands of dollars will hit my account every week. I get paid every week, and some weeks I get paid twice. And having this money come in, going from 6 figures to refusing that, going the other way. It was long hours, you know. I was a full-time private school teacher, and I also was a mental health tech as well, working with kids with acute behaviors. And between both jobs, I was making over $110,000 salary. The money was great. I couldn't complain, you know. Really couldn't complain about that at all, but I didn't have time to get in the gym. I was feeling more and more like a shell of myself because I'm an individual who loves to wake up early, get in the gym, but now I'm replacing that with waking up early, still hitting the gym, but then I'm at work for 16 hours straight or 24 hours straight, sometimes 32 hours straight at work. Get off work, be exhausted, can't hit the gym, and right back up again for another shift. And yes, the money was cool. Again, you know, seeing that type of money hit your account, it feels like you made it, you know, but it also felt as if I signed my life away to keep working these jobs. And that's why I said God gave me an ultimatum. I can continue to work these salary jobs, and of course, God is gonna honor me working because He said, work as if you're working for the Lord. And that's what I do. Whatever job I had, I put my head down and I work. I'm always a hard worker, always have been a hard worker. So the favor of God follows me because of that. I follow that principle. And I'm blessed when it comes to having jobs. And I believe right now, I can go get a 6-figure job right now. Right now, I can. But I won't choose a job over my purpose. I refuse. So what led me to that? Last October, I tried out for the Delaware Bluecoats, and after me not making a roster, I just had to sit down with God. Like, God, this is like my second summer. This is last October, so October 2024. And I'm just sitting down with God, like, this is my second summer trying to go pro. If you peep the other parts, you know, of the Lost Files, part 1 and part 2, I told you how I was misled to sign a contract in France, and that fell through. And my last resort was to go to the G League tryout. Didn't make that, so now I'm just sitting with my head between my my hands like, God, like, what do you want me to do? It's something like missing. It's something not clicking. Like, why? I got all the talent in the world. Why? And I get why now. But I told God back then, like, if you need me to go do something else, if you need me to put down basketball for a short while and you need me to go like complete like a side quest, let me know. I got you. And shortly after, I just started applying to jobs. That's how I got both my jobs that I had. First was the full-time math and science teacher at a private school. And then secondly was the mental health tech. And even there, you know, people knew that I wasn't supposed to be there, as far as like, I'm just gifted when it comes to basketball, and I would play with the kids on the court, and all the teachers and everybody would be like, yo, bro, like, you know, people be washed up and then they stop. You not. So keep going for what you're doing. I just think along the way there was little signs as far as like, continue to pursue your dream. This is always gonna be here. Like, I can always go back and be a teacher. You know, I got my certs, I got my credentials. I can always go back and be a teacher. But most of the people I was around, my colleagues, like, they were older. So not saying that teaching wasn't their dream, but if they had the body that I have, they have the opportunity that I have, they would go pursue something else rather than be a teacher first, you know? So it was a little nudge that God was giving me, like, hey, like, you ain't done. If you were done, he would tell me. And it got to the point to where after I felt as if my mission was done, I went back to God. And I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go 100% with basketball again. And I know what comes with that. I know the nasty side of the basketball business. I know what comes with it. But it's just something inside me that won't allow me to stop. And I know that is my purpose. I know there's a calling on my life. And I know that if I do anything else, if I succeed in anything else, like when it comes to career-wise, yes, I want to get into different ventures. Yes, I want to get into real estate. Yes, I want to get into stocks and bonds and all that stuff. Yes, I want to do that. But if I don't do this first, if I don't at least try, I know I tried in the past, but if it, like, let me just give it my all. Let me just give it my all. I don't want to be a woulda, shoulda, coulda. I don't want to be one of them. I grew up around those all my life. People who just complain, people who just are bitter, people who are jealous, people who are envious because others around them are taking chances, others around them are betting on themselves, and those people are just living with a life full of regrets because they never did it. And I refuse to be that person of just full of regrets, full of woulda, shoulda, coulda. I refuse to be that man, you know. I refuse. So before I be successful in anything else, all the things that God has for me, I want to do this. So I put aside the $100,000 in growing. I put aside the salaries. I put aside that. Let me bet on myself. Let me take this as far as it can possibly go. I started playing basketball legit when I was 16, 17 years old, my junior year, high school. Most people start playing basketball when they 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 years old, you know, maybe even younger than that. So like people my age now, 25 years old, I was just talking to my high school coach. You know, most people who were on a basketball team in high school, you know, they were at their prime. You know, they went to college a little bit. Some went to college and they did great. But they reached their peak. I just started playing basketball when I was in my junior year of high school. I have so much more to reach. I only been playing basketball for 8 years. People have been playing basketball for over 10, 15, 20 years by the time they're 25. I just started. How much You know, I ain't gonna say like I'm Brian, I can play till I'm 55. Nah, no diss to Brian, but the longevity of the game, I know I have way more to bring. I know naturally people hit their peak, people hit their prime when they're 28, 29, 30, 31. That's their prime. Look at James Harden, you feel me? His prime years was 28, 29, 30. Everybody prime is in that gap. But I ain't reached that yet. I ain't scratched the surface yet. There's so much more to the game I have to unlock. And I look at myself now, that's why I told y'all in the other parts, like I be in the gym with pros and I don't be just keeping up. I be hooping, bro. I gotta bring y'all along for the one time to the open runs. I just don't be having anybody to like catch it, like, you know, catch the angles while I'm playing. It's different from just setting the tripod down and just going. You know, you want some live action. So it's so much more to the game. And I know God is doing things through basketball, like, you know, in my life, bringing people to the Lord using basketball. And I seen it. Shout out Jeremiah. Shout out Jeremiah. Young kid who I was just training, and he asked me to give his life to Christ, help him to give his life to Christ. And we did it together. That was just a testimony. That was just a testament. That was just a little chapter, a little showing that God was just like, do basketball. You're gonna lead people to Christ, you know what I'm saying? And right now, it seems impossible. Like, I know you're probably watching this video, like, why would you give up a 6-figure promise? You're gonna make 6 figures, over 6 figures. You're gonna make it to something that's so up in the air. Every day, I work out, wait for a connect to hit me, wait for an opportunity. Every day. You know, it was a blessing to, you know, move into my own crib. My mom visited me from Canada. She stayed with me for a month. Being able to support my mom, being able to show love to my mom, being able to have open arms for my sister to come home when she comes from college, being able to do that, being able to take care of my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are things, as a 25-year-old, taking care of 3 women, loving on them, you know, and being able to be in that position is beautiful. Do I regret anything? No. I just know if I can do this, doing something I barely have a passion for, don't get me wrong. If I could do something so great outside of my purpose, how much more greatness can I achieve and unlock in my purpose? If I can make 6 figures outside of my purpose, how much more money can I make within my purpose? That's where I'm coming from. And you know, you hear the stories, oh, you gotta be delusional. You gotta be off the hinges. You gotta be so delusional that everybody thinks it's crazy until it works. But if I can make 6 figures outside of my purpose, how much more money can I make inside my purpose? You tell me that. And some people, you know, they be scared to move around. You feel me? But look, I've been surrounding myself with people who have either been where I want to go, they're going to where I want to go, or they're there right now. No, nothing more, nothing less. Hang around people who sharpen your tools, all your tools in your toolbox. Hang around people that make you use all the tools in your toolbox. Your screwdriver, your ratchet, your monkey wrench, your hammer, pause. But everybody who sharpens your tools, hang around those people. Hang around people who show you new methods and new techniques to do things, who test your mental. You know, hang around people who actually put their works forth, like actually, not just talking about it, not an old head that just tell you what to do. Be around somebody who can tell you and show you, and they walking it out throughout their life. It's evident. Sometimes you can't just lead the water. Sometimes you just can't lead the horse to water and expect the horse to drink. What if the horse don't know how to? You dig what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when you in a position, you start being around, fancy people with some etiquette, people with some class. They eat different. There's no elbows on the table. You dig what I'm saying? They sit up. They got a napkin across their lap. They eating. Fine. Joint tucked in. You know what I'm saying? People don't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do that. You got to get around people who can teach you the game, can teach you how to, level up your life, can teach you how to not only look the part, but act the part, think the part, move the part, speak the part. Not only just in one area, but in every area. Because I believe in how you do one thing is how you do everything. So you going in for one thing, you might as well go in for everything. I need y'all to go in for whatever you want. You may not have to make the drastic decision that I made, that you gotta choose $100,000 or your purpose. What I'm saying is morals and respect. My moral, my characteristic, my heart. I gotta lay down at night and be like, dang, I know I'm not making steps toward my purpose, but I got this money. What kind of man am I to sell myself short? What is a man to gain the world but lose his soul? I get to God at the end of my life, and I be like, God, I made millions of dollars. I know you're proud of me. I made millions of dollars. He gonna be like, that's not even what I have for you. I can't do that. I got to the level now, I love God, I love Jesus more than I love what I'm pursuing. I love the Creator more than the creation. I'm falling more in love with Jesus, more in love with the Creator, less in love with the creation, separating the treasure and the treasurer. And that's how I know I'm gonna win. How do you know you're finna win? That's something you gotta sit with. Some things that God gotta teach you, some things that Jesus gotta teach you, some things and some experiences you gotta go through before you get to a point like that. You know what I'm saying? You talking to somebody who came from nothing, bro. Real life. I was just homeless at the beginning of this year. It's August. I was just homeless in January, February. Sleeping on floors and just past January. You talking to somebody like that. You talking to somebody who sold drugs on and off all the way until he was 22, from 15, 16. Start making 6 figures. You know what that money can do to you. But still in that, my moral, my heart, I want what God wants more than anything. More than what a man can profit. I choose the goodness and the righteousness of God before anything else. That's how I know I'm good. In all of my prayers, I make sure never to just pray about money. If I need God to come through, I pray for God to come through. I don't pray for millions of dollars and stuff of that nature. Even though God knows, my purpose is going to provide that. He knows it, and I know that he knows it. What's understood doesn't really have to be explained. Excuse me. How well enough do you know your Father? To know him well enough that he knows you. So everything that you want in your heart, you don't really have to ask for and to seek after it and to ruin your character and corrupt your morals, corrupt who you are, because everything you want is tied into the gift he has for you that is tied into your purpose. You chase after the purpose, you chase after the gifts, you're gonna get everything that is attached to that. You can't ask for God to bless you and then go run and do something else, because he's not gonna bless you. You ain't gonna get his blessing on what you're trying to do. How can I be like, God, hey man, protect me and bless me as I go sell these drugs? How that make sense? That don't make sense. It don't. God, you feel me? You know, this is what I be like. God, you know what route I can take. I say this every time I'm in a rough situation, or like every time like I come to a realization, I just sit myself down and I be like, God, you know how I can go. I can go do this. I'm used to this. I can go get some money. I know I can. But your will be done. I gotta kill that. Because when it comes to money, I'm like, okay, cool, I can just do that, there. I'm up. I can be good. No. I'm not gonna get God blessing like that. I'm not gonna be righteous. You feel me? I done did my bid. I done led people in the wrong direction for a while. I'm good. I don't want that on my heart. I don't want that on my mind. I don't want that. Let me do things the right way. And doing things the right way is following after his purpose. Doing things the right way is following after his righteousness. Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all the things will be added unto you. What are all those things? Everything you may need, because I told you, if you know the Father well enough to know that the Father knows you, he knows everything that you need. Therefore, do not worry, brothers and sisters, what you will eat or what you will drink, because your Father already knows what you need. If the lilies in the field are covered and they do not ask for drink and they do not ask for sun, yet the Father provides. If the birds in the sky do not ask for just bread to eat and water to drink, how much more can the Father provide for you? How much precious are you to him? Are you more precious than birds? Are you more precious than flowers in the field? Is your life more precious than that? Come on, man. If you know the Father well enough, you know that the Father knows what you need. You know the Father knows what you desire. Hey, man. I'm going to start giving game every single day. I'm going to drop a video every day. You know, this is part 5 of the Lost Files. Ain't no more parts after this. I'm just dropping game until my dream comes to reality. My dream turned into a goal. I'm chasing after that goal. That goal is going to turn into reality. Daily chases, daily pursuing our dreams. Those dreams, goals, reality. On top of, first and foremost, pursuing Christ every single day. It's going to be a movement. I'm on my Valentino Ali, dropping every day. Why not? Hey, man. I'm dropping game. I'm going to change the locations every now and then. But for right now, this the crib, DailyChasin P. Love y'all, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hopefully y'all got something from it. Drop a token below, man. You feel me? Drop a diamond below if y'all got a gym. Subscribe, like, do all that stuff. You feel me? We ain't doing it for views. We doing it, you feel me, for the real ones that have a safe place. For real ones to be inspired. The real ones to, you feel me, know that they pursuing their purpose, bro. So, hey, we out. And catch y'all next time.